welcome you once again to this part of our study, and this time we are going to look at the bees. Bees are social insects. That means that they are social in such a way that they can live together, and they live in communities. That is, they live together, being social insects, work together, stay together, live together. And being that they are social insects and they are living in a community, they have different categories of activities that are performed out by different types of bee. That means that there are different sections or divisions in the labor, and then there is also division in the hierarchy. In the bee hive, we have one queen, and we may have up to about 300 drones. Those are the males, the drones, and we may have over 50 to 80,000 workers that are living in the beehive. They live in a colony where there are very many of them and having different specialization and different activities done. Now, they show the division of labor, and this is how the labor is distributed. The queen, the purpose of the queen is to produce other bees. That is the work of the queen. And the work of the drones is to fertilize the queen. And then we look at the workers. The workers, these are sterile females. Their work is to clean the hives, to collect food, to cool the hive, and feeding of the queen. That is the major work of the workers. They are cleaning the hive, collecting the food, cooling the hive, and feeding the queen. That is their portion of work. And the drones, their portion is to fertilize the queen. Whereas the queen, the work of the queen is to produce other bee. Those are the divisions of labor. We have said that the bees are social insects that live in communities, and they have different sections. We have one queen, and we may have to about 300 drones and from 50 to 80,000 workers. Now, we want to look at the characteristics of the work bee and the honey bee. They have a pair of large compound eyes. That is, when you look at their body structure, you will be able to realize and observe the large pair of compound eyes. And they have a mouth part which is a proboscis that has been modified for lapping. The proboscis has been modified for lapping. And then the head is hairy. They have a head which has a lot of hair, and they have two membranous and transparent wings, and they have a pair of short hairy antennas. Those are the characteristics of the honey bees, and those are mainly the work bees. They have a pair of compound eyes. They have a proboscis that is modified for lapping. They have a head which is hairy, and they have two pairs of membranous and transparent wing, and they have a pair of short hairy antennas. Now we want to look at the life cycle. Now, it is very interesting when it comes to the life cycle. You will find that for the bees, they undergo what we call complete metamorphosis. That is going through the egg, the larva, the pupa, and the adults. Now, the development is going to be determined by the type of food. Who is going to develop into a worker? Who will develop into the queen? Who will develop into the drone? It's going to depend on the type of feeding. But you will find all of them will go through all stages from egg to adult. Now, when we start with the drones, when the eggs are laid, after 3 days, they hatch into a larva. Then the larva, after 6 days, it will change into a pupa, and then the pupa will take 12 days to turn into the adult. But when the eggs turn into the larva, which is the feeding stage of the bees, the larva feeds on royal jelly. That is for the first 3 days. The larva is going to be fed on the royal jelly. Then after, it is fed on the honey and pollen. It will be fed on honey and pollen. So that one is going now to turn into a drone. Now when it comes to the worker, after the eggs have been laid, 3 days later, they will turn into the larva, and 6 days later, they will turn into the pupa, and 12 days later, they are going to turn into adults. Now, the larva is going to be fed on the royal jelly. That is for 3 days. And after 3 days, it is going to be fed on honey and pollen. So this female is going to turn into a worker because it is being fed on honey and pollen. Now when we go to the queen, for the queen it is quite interesting. I think because of the deity. When the eggs are laid, after 3 days they turn into the larva, hatch into a larva, and the larva, after 6 days it will hatch, it will change into the pupa, and then the pupa, just 7 days, it will turn into an adult. But you'll find that the larva of the queen or the larva queen is always fed on only royal jelly. There is no substitution. I think that's why it takes short time for it to change from pupa to adult, where it takes 7 days, whereas the workers and the drone are taking 12 days, because for it is being fed on only honey or royal jelly. So that is the life cycle of the bees. They have a complete metamorphosis, and they develop. The development is determined by the type of food that they feed. We have seen that the adults, like the drones, are fed on honey and pollen. The workers are also fed on honey and pollen, whereas the queen is fed only on the royal jelly or the royal jelly food. And that's the reason why they develop differently and have different function. Thank you for being with us.